Well, guys, it's been a long journey coming, but we're on episode 12 of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. And no, this is not the season finale, guys. Can you believe that? Now, normally anime shows, when it comes to episode 12, we have a slight mind like, oh, we've come a long journey. Get a season 2, please. But fear not, everybody. For Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, episode 13 will be the final episode. But episode 12 of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, I gotta say, I can never be so happy and sad before any okay, last week when 2 weeks ago when I talked about Interview with Monster Girls, episode 11, that put me in tears. But in episode 12, it kind of did. It did. I'm serious. It kind of did. It opened up. This was a flashback episode. It was a great flashback story. How Toru became before then she was just a chaos dragon who destroyed worlds and all that. And then meeting Kobayashi at first. That's what the whole thing was. Flashback 2 points how Toru became a powerful evil dragon to a nice dragon maid like herself. That's what the whole thing was. A flashback story. Now, this episode again was pretty great, to say the least. Out of all the episodes that had a few comedies and a few fan service, episode 12 kind of let's calm down, we had some fun, but with this episode and the season finale, let's make it more sad, epic, happy, all at the same time. Ball up in a little ball and whoosh out of it. So episode 12 kicks off with Toru and Kana making a rice omelet. Now, those cliche animes where they got not cliche, but every anime, they have the egg boiled up in the rice inside the egg and they put the little ketchups on them. Now, and they do designs, like one of those animes do the little dance and they make the heart sign on the egg, the ketchup egg looking thing. That's what it is. But Toru took it way too far. Took it way too far by getting ingredients from all the other realms just to make a perfect dish for Kobayashi. And it is twice as big. You got big ass Yoshi eggs, some weird ass looking meat that bears will probably eat. But again, you mix them all together and you got this ridiculous big ass egg looking shit with a heart. You can tell she loved Kobayashi mad times. Now, speaking of Kobayashi, she grew up a lot. But after 12 episodes right now, we still consider her as a guy. Let's face it, guys. How many of you still, whoever watched Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, still see her as a guy? Not busting everything, but looking at her character perspective. You could just look at her and say, oh, you keep saying he, but in reality, guys, she's just she. So it shows the flashback of how she met Toru. Let's not forget what happened in the first episode of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. She and Toru got drunk, and Kobayashi, was like, when I come to my house. They all show that. But in reality, they show exactly what happened. Remember, this is Kobayashi's flashback. Basically, it's like, she got so obsessed with this crazy ass bald-headed boss who we can't stand. Let's not forget the tripping episode, keep tripping him, which is funny, man, funny and all. But then after that, Kobayashi got so drunk, she ended up in the mountains with Toru. She ended up in the mountains and saw Toru. Now remember, Toru is a vicious dragon. She despised humans. That was then. But then you got this big ass god sword, 50 feet tall. And here's the anime physics. You're talking about anime physics, strength, and all that. How the fuck she grabbed the sword and pulled it up? No, really, she pulled it I'm confused. Is Kobayashi strong? Is she that strong? Guys, come on. She pulled the sword immediately from Toru back, I think, and just pulled it up. That's just anime physics. I'm like, impossible. But hey, this is anime physics, guys. Deal with it. Like High School of the Dead, with the bullet goes through. This is the same thing. Automatically pull the gospel and she's human. What is this, fairy tale? Now here's the thing. After all that, saving Toru's life, she got all drunk and made Toru transform to her human self, naked over with a cloth, and it was so adorable. Them having a good time drinking. As always, Kobayashi, when she drunk, she say the weirdest shit, like "Let me fondle your tits" or whatnot. Jokes aside, she's really delivering all the good things, and that's how they met. In a joyous way, you want to come over. That's what it was, a little flashback. Speaking of flashback, Toru has like one of the saddest, if not happy and sad at the same time, of her flashback. She encountered one human, a bandit. A girl with red hair, bandit type thing. I mean, it's sad it's sad. Seeing how the reason why Toru become a maid is because this little bandit says, "I want to be a maid." And just like that, dreams do come true. She became a gorgeous maid in the show, guys. That's incredible. That's incredible. Like, I thought it was like 1,000 years in the past, but damn, looking at her now, she grown to become a gorgeous maid. And it was adorable. Now, not only has some flashback episodes in this, but it also shows some kind of like commercial-wise thing. Like, Sota, I want to punch you. 12 episodes, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? 12 episodes, what the hell? You did some kind of spell thing to play along with Loka, and then you drove her off, and I'm thinking, you dumb bitch. But you open the door and you see Loka playing with the cat. And here's the fucked up part. She said, "Oh, you worried about me?" And we all feel like, "Oh, that's sweet." But here comes Sota to say, "I wasn't." You are a fucking idiot, Sota. This is why nobody don't like you. Except for some people. Yeah. So, and Fafnir has his moments. I mean, he folded clothes up, he took some clothes and all that stuff. He did it for his friend. And he's becoming more of the Grinch right now, becoming a big heart, even if he's a neat character. And then the dramatic cliffhanger of all time, the big old red eyes, yellow looking thing, which is, by the way, we already know who that is. And I don't want to say it, but we already know who it is. We already know. But can you guys believe that we're on episode 12? Next week is the ending. We're going to miss so many people. We're going to miss Elma. We're going to miss Toru. We're going to miss Fafnir. We're going to miss Loka. And God, we're going to miss the most adorable little dragon of all, Kana. The most adorable one of all. Not sexy, but adorable. But yeah. But again, this episode was really great. It was a flashback episode filled with so many things. And seeing Kobayashi and Toru reminds me of How to Train Your Dragon, of how Hiccup and Toothless met. The only difference is Toru has magic and Hiccup, well, if you count him blowing fireballs, you can't count that because Toru blows fireballs. And the difference between Toru and Kobayashi and Hiccup and Toothless is that Kobayashi got a big ass dragon, but then you got Hiccup just like a regular height of a dragon. You know what I mean? There's a difference. And the meeting, how they met, is a way different thing. Like I said, the only difference is Kobayashi got drunk, Hiccup didn't. Those two make a good pairing than Hiccup and Toothless. I'm sorry. So Hiccup and Toothless, if you want to know how to train a dragon, you go speak to Kobayashi and Toru and they'll tell you. But that's it. So next week, season finale of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid. After this, I'm getting pick-up mangas for this and getting posters and all the wall scripts we could get. So again, tune in next week for the season finale of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.